The truth about Ed O'Neill and Christina Applegate has been hidden in plain sight for decades. On screen, they became one of television's most unforgettable father and daughter duos in Married with Children, but away from the cameras, their relationship developed into something much more meaningful. For years, fans admired their chemistry without realizing how much of it reflected genuine care and respect behind the scenes. Christina rarely spoke about the depth of that connection, yet over time she has shared enough to reveal that Ed was far more than just a co-star. He became a mentor, a protector, and one of the most dependable people in her life during the years that shaped her career. When Christina joined Married with Children in 1987, she was only 15 years old. She stepped into one of the most daring sitcoms on television at an age when most teenagers were still trying to figure out who they were. The series constantly pushed boundaries with its outrageous humor and controversial storylines, making it an intimidating environment for someone so young. Surrounded by experienced actors and the pressures of a hit television show, Christina found stability in Ed O'Neill. While audiences only saw him playing Al Bundy, off-camera he quietly embraced the responsibility of looking after the youngest member of the cast. Ed understood the realities of Hollywood better than most. Having already spent years struggling to establish himself, he knew how quickly fame could overwhelm a young performer. Christina's character, Kelly Bundy, was written as an attractive and often naive teenager, attracting enormous public attention. That level of exposure could easily have become overwhelming, but Ed made it a priority to ensure she always felt safe. Christina has recalled how he stepped in whenever conversations became inappropriate or situations made her uncomfortable. He treated her less like a coworker and more like someone whose well-being genuinely mattered. Over the 11 seasons of the show, Christina grew from a teenager into a young adult, spending nearly all of her formative years on that set. During that time, Ed remained a steady presence. Cast and crew have often described how he looked out for her in small but meaningful ways. Whether it meant making sure she got home safely after late-night shoots, checking in with her family, or offering guidance when fame became overwhelming, he consistently put her welfare first. None of those gestures were required of him, yet they became part of who he was. Looking back, Christina has acknowledged that Ed's influence helped shape the person she became long after the cameras stopped rolling. As the years passed, their relationship evolved. Christina was no longer simply the teenager learning from a veteran actor. She became a confident performer with ideas of her own, contributing creatively to the show and earning the respect of everyone around her. Ed encouraged that growth rather than competing with it. He celebrated her success and took pride in watching her mature into a talented actress. Their bond gradually shifted from mentor and student to two performers who deeply respected one another while maintaining the father-daughter dynamic that audiences loved. That relationship became especially important during one of the show's biggest controversies. In the late 1980s, Michigan activist Terry Ricalta launched a campaign urging advertisers to boycott Married with Children, arguing that the program promoted offensive content. Several major companies temporarily withdrew their advertising, creating uncertainty about the show's future. For the younger cast members, the situation was frightening. Christina, still in her teens, suddenly faced the possibility that the career she had built might disappear almost overnight. According to those involved with the production, Ed became a calming influence throughout the crisis. Rather than allowing fear to dominate the atmosphere, he reassured Christina and the other younger actors that they had created something meaningful regardless of what happened next. He reminded them that public controversy did not erase the hard work they had invested. He also defended the cast publicly, making sure attention remained focused on the show's creative choices instead of allowing criticism to fall on the young actors. Ironically, the boycott generated even more curiosity, boosting ratings and helping transform the sitcom into an even bigger cultural phenomenon. Years after Married with Children ended, the cast remained remarkably close. While many television ensembles gradually drift apart, the Bundy family continued supporting one another through life's biggest milestones. That loyalty became especially clear in 2021, when Christina announced she had been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis while filming the final season of Dead to Me. The diagnosis dramatically altered her life, affecting her mobility, balance, and daily routine. She has spoken honestly about the grief of losing abilities she once took for granted and the emotional challenge of adapting to a completely different future. When Ed learned about Christina's diagnosis, he immediately reached out with love and encouragement. Alongside Katie Sagal, David Faustino, and Amanda Burse, he reminded Christina that she was not facing her battle alone. Yet Christina has often suggested that Ed's support carried a unique significance because of the role he had always played in her life. Decades after protecting a teenage actress on a television set, he was still offering reassurance during one of her darkest moments. Their friendship had outlasted the sitcom itself and become something far more enduring. Christina's strength became visible to the world when she accepted her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2022. Appearing publicly with a cane, she refused to let her illness define her achievements. Friends, colleagues, and longtime fans gathered to celebrate not only her remarkable career but also the courage she displayed in confronting multiple sclerosis so openly. Her emotional speech reflected gratitude for the people who had remained beside her through every chapter of her life, including those she first met while filming Married, with Children. Another unforgettable moment came at the Emmy Awards when Christina received an extended standing ovation after walking onto the stage with her cane. The applause lasted far longer than expected, becoming one of the evening's most emotional highlights. Those watching could see how deeply moved she was as colleagues honored not only her decades of work but also the resilience she had shown in the face of enormous personal challenges. For Christina, those moments represented something bigger than awards or recognition. They reflected the love of people who had known her for most of her life. Even before her MS diagnosis, Christina had already overcome another major health battle. In 2008, she revealed she had been diagnosed with breast cancer linked to a genetic mutation that significantly increased her risk. Choosing to undergo a double mastectomy, she successfully eliminated the cancer and later became an advocate for early detection and genetic awareness. Facing two life-changing medical diagnoses years apart demonstrated extraordinary resilience, and through both experiences she consistently emphasized the importance of surrounding herself with supportive friends and family. Today, Christina continues sharing her journey through the podcast Messy, which she co-hosts with Jamie Lynn Sigler, another actress living with multiple sclerosis. The format allows her to connect with audiences while accommodating the physical limitations caused by her condition. She has also expressed interest in voice acting and behind-the-scenes creative work, including participating in the planned animated revival of Married, with Children. Although she has acknowledged that returning to on-camera acting may no longer be realistic, she remains determined to keep creating and inspiring others. Talk of a full Bundy family reunion continues to excite longtime fans. Ed O'Neill has indicated that any meaningful reunion would need to include Christina, while other cast members have echoed the same sentiment. Whether it ultimately takes the form of a documentary, a television special, or an animated revival, their affection for one another remains obvious whenever they reunite publicly. The chemistry audiences enjoyed decades ago has never truly disappeared because it was built on genuine friendship rather than simple television performances. Ultimately, Christina Applegate's story about Ed O'Neill is not one of scandal or hidden controversy. It is the story of loyalty, mentorship, and unconditional support in an industry where lasting relationships are often rare. From protecting a 15-year-old actress on her first major television role to standing beside her through life's greatest health challenges, Ed remained exactly what Christina always needed, a trusted father figure. Their friendship reminds us that the most meaningful legacies are not measured by ratings or awards, but by the people who continue showing up for each other through every triumph and every hardship. Some television families disappear when production ends. The bond between Christina Applegate and Ed O'Neill never did.